Howdy, folks. Welcome to the channel, Rockin' the Country. I'm Don. I've got a gift request from George Woodruff. And no, it's not a George Jones song. You saw the title. It's Waylon Jennings. Don't think twice. It's all right. I don't know the song. I'm wearing my special hat in honor of George because he loves my Sopranos hat. And plus, I'm from Jersey, as George duly noted in his email to me. And that is correct. And in fact, I was at Rutgers when James Gandolfini was at Rutgers. And though he wasn't Tony Soprano yet, but he checked my IDs at the nightclub. He and I were about to say, he was a year ahead of me. And he was a bouncer at the popular drinking establishment back then. And he would check IDs. So anyway, all that said, yes, he and I, he grew up, I think, in Colonia, which was about 20 minutes from where I grew up in Piscataway, New Jersey. And anyhow, that's a little bit of history right there. But George, thank you for this gift, my friend. George made a gift for me to do this song. And Waylon and Dwight now replaced Miranda as my favorite artist. I still love Miranda, but Waylon had, I think, moved up just ahead of her, and now I think Dwight might have moved ahead of Waylon, but they're neck and neck, these two. So let's find out what Waylon's got for us. I don't know the song. I didn't grow up on country, so these are reactions that I do on the channel, like 95 to 98%.
Ain't no use in calling out my name, gal, like you never did before. Ain't no use in calling out my name, gal. I can't hear you anymore. When the rooster crows at the break of dawn, look out your window and I'll be gone. You're the reason why I'm traveling on. Don't think twice, it's alright. Walking down that long, lonesome road, gal, where I'm bound, I can't tell. Goodbye is too good a word, gal, so I'll just say fare thee well.
What'd she do?
Well, I ain't saying you treated me unkind. Could have done better, but I don't mind.
Right.
You just sort of wasted my precious time. Don't think twice, it's alright.
Wow.
Ain't no use in turning on your light, babe, the light I never know. Ain't no use in turning on your light, babe. I'm on the dark side of the road. Still I wish there was something you could do or say, make me change my mind and stay. You never did too much talking anyway. Don't think twice, it's alright.
Wow. This is really a depiction of a cold, cold woman. I haven't heard a song like this. I mean, I've heard people say, in songs, different people are depicted differently. We didn't get along for this reason. You did this. You cheated. All that kind of stuff. But this just has an air of absolute sort of detachment and coldness. Ouch.
Ain't no use to sit and wonder why, babe. It don't matter anyhow.
Wonder if they ever had
Ain't
passion.
no use to sit and wonder why, babe. If you don't know by now, I'm a-thinking and wondering all the way down the road. I once loved a woman, a child I'm told. I gave her my heart, but she wanted my soul. Don't think twice, it's alright.
What does that mean, she wanted his soul? She wanted to turn him bad or something? Yeah, fascinating for Waylon, who, was one of the primary artists in the Bakersfield outlaw country institution. if you will. And so this song, kind of, you could see the early movement in that. He's throwing a woman under the bus for being cold, saying it like it is. And it's fascinating in this regard because the song itself, obviously, he's just calling her out for being cold and wasting his time. Haven't quite heard a song like this, but it's in Waylon's voice, you could hear a sense of not conformity, but consistent with the time, and maybe consistent with sort of a trajectory of other other artists who sing non-outlaw type music, but within Waylon was absolutely the seeds of going in this direction, or maybe he in his own direction, the outlaw direction. Maybe he had enough experience with the industry to do that. But I don't know who wrote this song, but throwing somebody under the bus, I don't even, maybe this is a true story. Whoever wrote this, if it was Waylon, maybe there was a woman in his life and he's just saying it like it is. Maybe he was a role model, an early role model for Taylor Swift, who anytime she went out with a guy, when they broke up, she trashed him. He's not, yeah, I mean, this is that, really. And absolute surprise. The thing that stood out the most, other than the storyline in this, was the bass line. That was not hidden underneath stuff. The bass line was the most prominent element of the instrumentation, and it was right up there with the vocals, maybe even slightly more so. And it was sort of up-tempo, so it kind of kept your heart rate going, like, all right, where's this going? And he's leaving, and he's like, no, don't even bother turning the light on. And that's been gone. But what I didn't understand in this, George, and maybe you have a read on it, I don't know, is, I gave you my heart, but you wanted my soul too. Now, when we think of heart and soul, we think of all of a person, just sort of the indefinable aspects, the certain je ne sais quoi, there's everything about a person. We can't quite define it, but we know it when we see it, type of deal. And so, when you're in a relationship, you want the other person to give you their all. You want all of them. You want them to retain a certain measure of identity. But maybe that's what he's saying in this song, is that she wanted I gave you my heart. I loved you dearly. I wanted us to work. But you wanted my soul, which maybe he's saying you wanted me to conform to your ways. And you're cold. There wasn't warmth in you. And I'm not going to conform to somebody who gives me nothing but coldness. I mean, that's how I heard the song. I mean, that was even the way it was played. It was metronomic. There were tempo changes in this, and that was by design. And I do think it was meant to give a feel of like industrial steel. Nothing warm about it. Absolutely fascinating. All right, I'll rate this song, and the number that immediately popped into my head was an 8.8. I don't think it was a terribly difficult song to write, but I think it came from experience. There were certain details in there that told me, oh yeah, this was lived by experience, and the songwriter might have written it that night, and it might not even be based on a real experience. But when I say that night, I mean the night that the songwriter left and said it's over. Just left in his heart, left in his body, where he went out the door. Don't even turn the light on. Doesn't matter. I'm gone, and it's going to be all right. Don't think twice. No. Well, you do think twice. Yeah, you always do. But some things are easier to do than others. I had some employees back in the day, and contrary to maybe popular belief, employers hate firing employees. You hate it because you know it's going to be ugly. You know it's going to hurt somebody. You know it could be emotionally charged. You don't know how they're going to react. Depending on the nature of their work, it might impact their family. Like, we just don't like it. We don't want to have to reinvest in training new employees. It's expensive. They may not work out. It's just a dynamic that you'd much prefer to keep the employees you have and sort of get along as a happy family. But depending on circumstance and such, you may need to fire somebody if an employee is stealing from you, if they're just a bad egg, if they just create a bad mood among the rest of the staff. There are good, legitimate reasons, or if they don't show up for work on time or at all. And I had an employee in particular who was not hard to fire. And I didn't like firing people. I didn't have to fire that many. We had very good employees. We paid very well and didn't micromanage them. But the one employee we had, he gave very good classes. He was a ballet teacher. He gave very good classes when he was there, but he showed up maybe 40%, well, 60% of the time. And some of the times he didn't even let me know he wasn't coming to work. And it got to a point where I was so on edge wondering, is he going to show up for work, that it was not hard for me to call him one day and say, hey, we've got to make a change. It's just too stressful any longer because you don't come to work enough. And that it wasn't hard to make that phone call. Whereas, I had to let a couple other people go and I had some reservations about it, but by and large, I knew it had to be done. And that's this in this song. The way this is being depicted was like, it's not even hard for him to go. It's like, don't think twice. Like, there's not even a question that the relationship here in the song is over because she's just cold. She doesn't show up. She doesn't provide, but she wants more from him. She wants his soul, whatever that means. So, all right, George, I don't think that was a difficult song to write. I think it was, I just think it came out as the songwriter lived it. So, all right, guys, hope you enjoyed that early Waylon. Have a great day. See you on another video. Keep rocking the country.